Well, we now move on to the women's uneven bars and the men's rings. We'll start with Rebeca Andrade of Brazil. Second best in qualification. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, third best in qualification, the French gymnast. Then Georgia May Fenton of Great Britain, followed by Caitlin Rooskrantz of South Africa. Lohane Oliveira of Brazil. Yang Fanyue of the People's Republic of China, top qualifier, making her senior international debut. Same for Zhao Jiayi, her teammate, who was the fourth best in qualifying, and Lucia Hribar of Slovenia, the seventh best in qualification and the qualifier for the Olympiad. Now to the men's rings. We'll start with Zilard Zaveri of Hungary, then Adam Asil of Türkiye, the world champion from 2022. Artur Sahakian of Germany, Diogo Soares of Brazil, Ibrahim Csolak, the 2019 world champion from Turkey, Balázs Kiss of Hungary, European Championship medalist, Vladimir Kostyuk of Ukraine. Then we'll have Nestor Abad of Spain, the fourth best in qualification, and a Youth Olympic Games medalist on rings in Singapore in 2010. We are just waiting for those classified results for the men's pommel horse and women's vault competitions. These are the finalists in the men's rings event, and Adam Asil and Ibrahim Csolak, the top two in qualification. Both of them have been world champions. Both of them representing the host nation, who will be expecting to hear their anthem played after this rings final. The uneven bars competition, top performer in the preliminary round, a virtually unknown athlete from the People's Republic of China, Yang Fanyue. She scored 14.8. Her only domestic honours, an under-15 bronze medal in 2020. Her development over the last couple of years from a score perspective has been absolutely stellar. How absolutely thrilled the fans are to see him back in his home World Cup competition. Ibrahim Csolak, the first ever world champion from Türkiye. It was in his 6th consecutive World Championships that he did it. Since then, the injuries have been difficult for him, but he's still an enormous crowd pleaser. He's so respected. The first performance in the men's rings final from Zilard Zaveri, the 18-year-old from Budapest. New to the senior international circuit this year. Now to Rebeca Andrade. Performs the Jaeger nicely. Looking quite secure thus far. And dismounts very good. Rebeca Andrade, the 24-year-old, the all-around runner-up at the last Olympic Games. A nice moment of appreciation from Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, who's coming up next. And she was, Andrade, the runner-up on the uneven bars at the World Championships in 2021. It is 13.05 for Szilard Závory. So he's up by a tenth from qualification. Now to the world champion from a couple of seasons ago. Adam Asil of Türkiye. The 2022 champion of the world. Goes up strongly into the planche position to start. Now to the Maltese. Very well controlled handstand. Jonasson to Yamawaki to Maltese. Really does fly up into the planche with ease. He was unsurprisingly the top performer in qualification with 14.75. He will be very difficult to beat in this final. Adam Asil came into this weekend of World Challenge Cup action with 12 World Cup medals, 3 of them gold. Now to the French national champion on the uneven bars, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. Goes well from the Stolder into the piked Kachev. Maloney to transition back up. She was the third best performer in the preliminary round. And that's a strong routine from Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. The gymnast based in the United States of America now. Szilard Závory, 13.05, just to confirm that number from earlier. Oh, sorry that we don't yet have the number for Adam Asil, but we'll try to bring that to you as soon as we can, and indeed for Rebecca Andrade as well. This is Artur Sahakian of Germany, 25. New to the international scene, but not to the domestic scene. He's been a medalist on rings at the national championships. Had to work quite hard to hold that handstand, but he did it well. He looked good in qualification. Was in the top 3. His Yamawaki to Jonasson is quite well performed. Well done to Artur Sahakian. He's wanted and waited for this moment. An opportunity to be in an international final on the rings, to wear the national colours. Adam Asil scores 14.6. This could be interesting. He's down by a tenth and a half from qualification. Ibrahim Cholak scored 14.55. The door might be ajar. Georgia May Fenton of Great Britain, 5th best in qualification, the 3rd to go in this final, and the reigning 2-time Commonwealth Games uneven bars champion. The hip circle Kachev is performed well. Was rather close up to see entirely, but the Ejeva did go smoothly. Pak Salto. Quite shy of the handstand position on that occasion. But she dismounts very well. Good finish from Georgia May Fenton of Great Britain. The 22-year-old from the county of Kent in the southeast. Sahakian with 13.7. Not too far away from his qualification performance. We go now to Diogo Soares of Brazil on the rings. Holds his straddle planche well. That, I think, is the first straddle planche we've had. What a nice position on the Jonasson. Very symmetrical. Good angle of pike. Dismounts with moderate-sized back step. Diogo Soares, who was the 7th best performer in qualification. His difficulty was the lowest, or the second lowest, I should say, of the qualifiers. Just to Vladimir Kostyuk, that was lower than him. But lots of tidiness in his display. Working on bringing you some of those scores on the uneven bars. But let's enjoy this performance from Caitlin Rooskrantz of South Africa, an Olympic qualifier from the last World Championships. Classical Shaposhnikova to transition into the Pak Salto following that. Then employs the Van Leuven. Just had swing issues there, and that regrettably has brought the routine to a point of unintentional dismount. She became the first ever South African gymnast to win a gold medal in an International Gymnastics Federation competition when she took the uneven bars title in Sombate in 2019. And there's now a lot of good release work going on in this performance from Caitlin Rooskrantz. Oh, it's a very nice dismount as well. Unfortunate that she came off, because absolutely that had the capacity to trouble the upper echelons of the final. 14.567 for Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, who looks a little different from how I remember. But we'll take whatever scores we can right now, frankly. Diogo Soares with 12.3. So he's in 4th position of 4 at the halfway mark. We are still awaiting the confirmed number for Rebecca Andrade and for Georgia May Fenton. Lohane Oliveira will be the next gymnast to go on the uneven bars. Over on the rings, we'll get the second half of the final started with the world champion from 2019, Ibrahim Cholak. Caitlin Rooskrantz, who's spoken so wonderfully lately of the cultural change that she wants to continue bringing about in South African gymnastics. She said helping young people see people of colour in what she refers to as the team of the Rainbow Nation. She's been such an aspirational figure, along with her great friend Naveen Daris and many others in the team as well. That team that was so entertaining at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, finishing 4th. I'm sure many of you remember it well. They were a joy to watch, especially on floor, South Africa. Well, I can now give you the uneven bars standings. Melanie Jesus dos Santos leads on 14.567. Rebecca Andrade on 14.067. And then Georgia May Fenton on 13.767. Caitlin Rooskrantz has just scored 11.8. Ibrahim Cholak. The second best performer in the preliminary round. The world champion from 2019. And the door maybe has been left ajar here by Adam Asil. Well, it really was slightly laboured going up into the planche position, but he's recovered well. Very swingful Yamawaki to Jonasson, that looked nice. Good level shoulder line in his iron cross. Yeah, there we go. It wouldn't be an Ibrahim Cholak performance. It wouldn't be a World Cup event in Türkiye without the Cholak cheeky chortle. And he does dismount nicely. Sometimes you get the sense with Ibrahim Cholak that these are almost emeritus performances from him, because he is so revered in these parts and indeed in the gymnastics world for what he has done to put Turkish gymnastics onto the map. They just love to watch him, and they're right to. Now we go to Lohane Oliveira on the uneven bars, 6th best in qualification. Shaposhnikova variation into the pack salto. Van Leven is her next from the Shaposhnikova family. Setting herself up for the piked Jaeger somersault. So vital to hit the handstand positions at vertical. That's a stylish conclusion though from Oliveira. Really attacked the dismount. Tight tuck position, rotated the body round. And he has got it, Ibrahim Cholak. 14.65. He's ahead of Adam Asil. Balázs Kiss of Hungary. 13.35 in qualification. Was the runner-up on rings at the National Team Championships last year. And he was fourth at the World Cup in Israel last year, the closest he's got to World Cup honours. A certain fluidity to his performance. Well, I can only apologise that we missed the dismount there of Balázs Kiss. We'll get an indication of how good it was when the scores come in. He won an absolutely extraordinary rings title at the National Championships last year, different from the Team Championships and indeed the Masters Championships. Things are rather complicated in the national calendar in Hungary, but the national title was a three-way tie for rings gold between Balázs Kiss, Christopher Mészáros and Benedikt Tomcsányi. It's so unusual to get a three-way tie for gold. Well, isn't this fascinating? Yang Fanyue of the People's Republic of China, the top qualifier. Performs a downy as her first release move, then the Pak Salto. Van Leeuwen. Some very nice pirouetting work. It's stylish, it's got a snap to it. Has to build the swing back up after the Jaeger. And she is building it up now towards a big dismount. Oh, that's such an unfortunate moment right at the end for Yang Fanyue. The hand going down. She's, as I mentioned earlier, all but unknown internationally. She's not even well known domestically. It's her debut as an international senior. She's never won a national medal or even made a national final. And she was stunning in qualification. We'll come back to Yang Fanyue in just a moment. Vladimir Kostyuk, 20-year-old. The sixth best in the qualification phase. And he actually won a silver medal on the rings at the Junior European Championships in Türkiye in 2020. So that's the performance of Vladimir Kostyuk, who announced his comeback in April of last year, to the delight of many a fan of the Ukrainian national team. He'd been serving in the armed forces in the intervening time. 13.35 for Kiss. Fourth position. Yang Fanyue, who we've just seen perform, is from Yunnan province in the south of China. It's a landlocked mountainous province on the border with Vietnam, Laos and Myanmar, one of the most rural and mountainous of the provinces in China. Not known for its provincial team, as we're now looking at Zhao Jiayi, who's from Hubei province, which is much more well known at national level. And she was the fourth best in qualification. Performs the Ginger. And that's a very smooth looking conclusion to the routine from Zhao Jiayi. 16, she's a few years younger than Young, and it is her senior international debut. She's been a national medalist on floor. But I just reinforce what a remarkable accomplishment it is to see Yang Fanyue in this final, as somebody who doesn't have much of a record nationally, and she's so nearly produced a medal contending performance. Right up until the end she was on track. Nestor Abad is the last to perform in this men's rings final, the fourth best in qualification. And it was in Singapore at the Youth Olympic Games in 2010 that he won a bronze medal on the rings, along with a bronze on vault and a silver on the horizontal bar. We'll see him in the horizontal bar final later. That's quite an adjustment as he lands. Nestor Abad coming off the mat. And a slight look of resignation from the 31-year-old. He's got so much experience. It's never going to be a surprise to him, really, when his score comes in, because he knows exactly what he's done. Just to bring you up to speed on some of the uneven bars scores. Lahani Oliveira 13.167. Yang Fanyue 12.9. So we just wait for the score for Zhao Jiayi before the last performer will take to the apparatus. And that is 13.533. So no change to the top three, which is to Jesus dos Santos, Andrade and Fenton. Now to Lucia Hribar of Slovenia, the 22-year-old from Ljubljana, and a gymnast who has done phenomenally to qualify for the Olympiad in Paris. She is absolutely one of the hardest working gymnasts in the world in terms of what she does internationally. Ten international competitions last year, 11 the year before, and she's used these World Cup events to bolster her confidence, to aim towards the Olympics for so long now. What a nice performance that was from Lucia Hribar of Slovenia. And it's a fine thing that she's going to be making her Olympic debut in Paris after that all-around performance at the World Championships. As soon as we have these last scores in, we will bring you the classified results. For Vladimir Kostyuk, 12.95. Earlier on, Zhao Jiayi scored 13.533. And I can tell you that Lucia Ribar has scored 13.333. And all of that means that it is a win for Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. A 6th World Cup gold medal for the French gymnast. But this is really bonus territory for Lucia Ribar after what she's accomplished in getting to Paris. 13.333 for her. That is just 2/10 down from qualification. She has already won 3 bronze medals in World Cup competition. But she said those World Cups have made her believe that she belongs internationally. The classified results in the women's uneven bars competition, with the gold medal won by Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. Silver awarded to Rebecca Andrade of Brazil, and the bronze medal to Georgia May Fenton of Great Britain. The men's still rings final ended in victory for Ibrahim Çolak of Türkiye, ahead of Adam Asil in the battle of the home world champions. And congratulations to Artur Sahakian of Germany in his first ever international final. He wins a bronze medal at the age of 25. Great work from him. Georgia May Fenton of Great Britain, the winner of the bronze medal, joined by Rebecca Andrade of Brazil, silver medalist. And the champion is Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. The 6th time that she has been a World Cup champion. The gymnast who was part of that extraordinary French medal winning team at the last World Championships. The champion, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. She wins the uneven bars title in Antalya at the World Challenge Cup and will now have the national anthem of France. The medalists in the women's uneven bars competition in Antalya. And now the victory ceremony in the men's rings competition. The bronze medal to Artur Sahakian of Germany, the 25-year-old who represents the Siegerland KV club in the central west part of Germany, centred around the university town of Siegen. Has dreamed of this moment, a chance to represent his nation at international level. It's come later on in his career, but it's been worth the wait to get that bronze medal. Adam Asil of Türkiye takes second place and the silver medal with it. The reigning champion of Europe and the world champion from the previous year. But this is his place and his position. Ibrahim Çolak is used to winning in Türkiye. He won the European title in Mersin in 2020. That was just after winning the world title to become the first Turkish gymnast to be a champion of the globe. So when he comes back to his home country in World Cup competition, he's always tough to beat. No one could do it today. The medalists in the men's still rings competition.